How many of you are waiting on a miracle? I know I am. I was reminded of an amazing miracle that I experienced a few short years ago at this exact time. I had been homeless for almost 2 years when I received an invitation to do a trunk show in Iowa, and I was excited, but quite frankly, it took a whole lot of faith and a lot of courage to set out on that journey to Iowa with only $50 left to my name. When I arrived, I was given a gift certificate to a new casino in town that had a beautiful hotel. And when I went in and checked into that room, there was this big, cushy white bed and a hot tub in the middle of the room with a big, fluffy white robe waiting for me. There was food and juices and nuts and candies and all this stuff in this room. And I felt like a princess that night. It was really amazing. Quite frankly, I didn't want to leave. And the next morning when I was getting up and getting ready to go, I noticed there was a little gift certificate next to the light on the end table for a free cup of coffee in the gift shop. So I decided to use it. And I went down and I was standing there with my little hand-painted purse and my stuff, because I always make all my stuff. When the manager came up to me and said, "Oh, I love your boots and your scarf and your jewelry and your bag," or whatever it was, "who's the designer?" I said, "Well, actually, I'm a designer." And she said, "Wow, do you wholesale?" And I said, "Well, yes, I do." And she said, "You don't have any samples or anything with you, do you?" And I said, "Actually, I do. I have some samples in my car." And so I raced out, and the bellhop helped me with all my grocery bags filled with all the art that I had made. There was bags and wallets and shoes and boots, and most things were made in that time from upcycled stuff that other people had discarded and thrown away. But I brought it in, and when I came in, there was this long, long line now through the entire hotel that kind of winded and winded all the way from the desk past that coffee shop. And I learned that all these people were standing in this line for an all-you-can-eat buffet, and they were waiting for the doors to open. But it worked to my advantage. So I took my years of retail experience and I started setting up like little vignettes out in front of this coffee shop of boots with a scarf draped over them and maybe some earrings and a necklace, all my stuff. And lo and behold, these women started coming out of the line and actually asking to buy. And the manager came out and looked at me and looked at the women and looked at me and looked at the women and said, "How much do you want for all this?" and slid me a piece of paper. I was kind of frozen and I didn't even really know what to say. And the first thought that came to my mind was 5,000, and I'm not even sure where that came from, but 5,000 was like 5 million to me then. And I wrote it on the piece of paper. 10 minutes later, she came sashaying back to me in $100 bills at a time, counted out $5,000. I had just experienced a financial miracle that I never in my wildest dreams could have imagined. So I just want to encourage you today to take your wildest, craziest dreams and give them to God, because sometimes miracles don't look the way we think they're going to look. I had dreamed of going to that trunk show and hopefully selling a few things, and lo and behold, I practically sold out to a hotel that I never even knew existed before I set out on that journey. You see, God is a big, big God, really big, and He's going to fulfill your wildest dreams in His way, in His time. You need to trust Him, you need to put your faith in Him, and you need to get out of the way, because His ways are higher and His ways are better. Merry Christmas. I love you guys.